Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Julie, and this week we're exploring Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona was so good to us.
It was really good to us. I had a great time.
We had a great time outside. We had a great time being indoor kids. We had a great time everywhere we went. One place that we fell in love with on the way into town, we weren't even into Tucson yet. We camped for a couple nights at a place called Picacho Peak State Park. And we honestly weren't expecting much. We just needed a place to crash. And we got there and found one of the darkest night skies ever. Unbelievable sunsets, the
beautiful cactus,
the scenery, everything was so amazing. And of course, spectacular trails, which you just saw as the intro to this video. Now, when we got into Tucson,
basically the reason for going there.
We knew that one of the distilleries we were most excited about was based there, and we couldn't wait to check it out. We'd been in talks with them for months. From the start of this journey on Interstate 10, we've been communicating with them saying, we're coming your way. And they kept going, when? Come on. Whiskey Del Bac. We scheduled about a couple of hours to spend with them and then wound up spending a whole day and then another day. And the reason we spent a second day, and this is the really exciting news, and we'll get onto the whiskey and everything else in just a second. Day 2, the first 15 to 20 minutes of it, we were recording a podcast with the owner and head distiller over there, which is going to be fantastic and will be coming out on Spotify on Saturday this week. In addition, our Patreons are going to be really excited to hear this. We selected a single barrel of Whiskey Del Bac whiskey. We sat down, tasted through 5 or 6 different samples, and we recorded the entire thing. We're going to be sharing that with our Patreons, and the yield was only about 55 bottles, we understand. And so we're going to offer that to our Patreons first. So if you're interested in that, definitely join us on Patreon. But if there are any left, then they will be available to the public. But we had a couple of awesome days there. We did a tasting. We met a bunch of people. You actually got up on the machinery with the crew and got to be a part of it. What did you think?
I thought it was such a cool experience. We've done a lot of distillery tours. This was probably one of my favorite. They're just doing unique things there. One, mesquite. We got there on a smoking day, so that was really cool. So the tour was great, but the tasting was awesome. Jana and Nicole, they knocked it out of the park. I think we were supposed to taste 3 or 4 things, ended up tasting 6 or 7. We just couldn't get enough of all the things. We don't get Whiskey Del Bac, or we haven't really got Whiskey Del Bac in Oregon, so it just started showing up right as we were leaving town, so we couldn't wait just to taste everything that they had to offer.
Yeah, and do keep in mind, we took a taxi there. We were not driving ourselves around. They did not get to meet the bourbon cat, Mavis.
I know, they were disappointed they didn't get to meet Mavis.
But we had a couple of favorite items there, and I want to call out some of their generally available whiskeys, and then we will be drinking and tasting this one as we go in this video today. But some of the ones that are more readily available that are awesome. Dorado, the mesquite smoked one, and for the first time we got to try Normandy, and that is fantastic.
But what we really enjoyed were the seasonal releases, and I think one of the reasons I liked it was that they were all developed by different team members.
Yeah, somebody else is responsible every season for these, and we liked a bunch of them. We actually liked them all, but we only bought 2 of them. We bought the fall release from 2023, and this is the summer release from 2023. They call it Distiller's Cut. This is 104 proof, and this is rum agricole barrel finished. They kept saying over and over, oh, it's a great whiskey to drink in the summertime. It's a great whiskey to drink anytime. I'm in love with this stuff.
I agree, but if you've watched this channel before, you know that I am a proponent of things that you can drink more seasonally, something more in the summertime. I find it really difficult to drink your traditional bourbons when it's 95 degrees, so I'm always looking for the little bit lighter, a little bit fruitier, a little bit more effervescent.
Yes.
And then we stumbled upon this. I fell in love with it. I probably would have bought 2 bottles of this just to have it on the shelf.
Right. I wanted the more heavily mesquite smoked fall release, so we got a couple of different ones. The first thing you noted is that you like something that's a little fruitier and effervescent, and the tasting note that I'm getting right off the bat here, on the nose, it is peach. There's so much peach, and almost a lemon lime soda as well. There's so much sweet goodness to enjoy right off the bat. You're already sipping it, and I don't blame you. I'm going to go in for some too.
This is my first sip since we've been there.
Oh, right.
And I wanted to revisit how much I liked it. What I like about this too is that there's still enough single malt quality to it. So there's still just a slight mesquite smokiness. There's still a little bit of what you expect with the single malt. It's just lighter, a little bit fruitier.
Like you said, that smoke is there, and you're not one for smoke, and I'm not one for a lot of smoke. This is very well balanced in that way. So very interesting whiskey, and one that maybe you wouldn't expect the bourbon van to go for at first blush, just hearing the tasting notes. But this is very, very tasty whiskey, and that peach continues to come through, maybe the nectarine there, the vanilla, the tobacco notes that show up. There's so much to enjoy. And speaking of things to enjoy, because we'll come back and revisit this whiskey before we're done here, but first off, we have to talk about the national park over there that's on both sides of Tucson that we enjoyed so much.
It's Saguaro National Park. I had to learn how to say that because I feel like I've been saying it wrong for my entire life.
Yeah, I think everybody who has only seen it in print and not heard it said would say this wrong. Saguaro National Park. We had a really nice afternoon there checking out petroglyphs, hiking in the park. It was a really, really busy time to be there, so we unfortunately couldn't get all the places that we wanted to see, but from what we saw, it was a really fun place to be, and we did spend a nice afternoon, and we highly recommend checking that out if you have the chance. All right, we're going to come back to the whiskey one more time, but we continued to have amazing experiences in Tucson. We're going to share this one with you right now. It's the Pima Air Museum and Boneyard, I believe is what it was called.
Yeah.
We'll put the name on the bottom because I'm probably getting it wrong. Airplanes galore, tons of amazing history, military stuff. Pima was absolutely awesome, and we spent a whole afternoon there wandering the entire campus, which was massive. Even got to see President Kennedy's plane. How cool was that? Check this out.
So just to note, you don't have to do all the walking like we did. You can get a tram. I probably would highly recommend it. I got a little tired at the end of our afternoon and was kind of jealous of everyone that was taking the trolley around.
Yeah, we put some mileage down that day. It was really, really a fun time. And of course, it was the day after we had just run 20 miles on the Tucson Loop, that massive trail that goes all the way around the city. The Loop is awesome. If you are a cyclist or a runner, the Loop in Tucson is absolutely amazing. Highly recommend that. Highly recommend this whiskey. I told you we were going to return to the whiskey. Don't have much else to say about Whiskey Del Bac, right? It was fantastic to visit them. They were the greatest people. Check out our podcast on Spotify this coming weekend. And now, one last thing for you to check out. When we were at Picacho Peak State Park, on the way out, it shares an exit with Picacho Peak. We saw this sign that was calling to us. And we just couldn't say no. So come with us to visit Rooster, Cogburn's Ostrich Ranch. Yeah. It's the kissing booth. You have to give him a kiss.
I'm not doing that.
Hold it in your mouth.
No.
Come on.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared they're gonna try to get me. You guys stink.
You're okay? Nuts.
That was a little scary. Got a little tongue. Wow! Oh, we took the whole thing. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, they're coming for you. Time to go. Time to go. Oh gosh, they're on me. It's on me. I doubt it. Who knows? Okay, guys, see you later.
Slimy. So we'll wrap up on this Whiskey Del Bac. Delicious. You should get it.
What more can I say? That sounds perfect to me, from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now it's whiskey for any season. Join us next week from Tombstone, Arizona, where we'll be drinking Redwood Empire Foggy Burl Whiskey.